Hi everybody, welcome back. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and type replay in the comments. Today, I want to talk about something so many women are asking. How do I start an online business when I don't have experience? Maybe you've tried something before. Maybe you bought the course. Maybe you started the page. Maybe you posted a few times. Maybe you got excited. And then life happened. Or maybe you are sitting there thinking, I know I'm called to more, but I don't know where to start. I want to simplify this today because starting an online business does not have to be complicated. It does require faith. It does require focus. It does require consistency, and it does require a plan. But it does not require you to have everything figured out before you begin. The Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain. That means clarity matters. Before you build the website, before you create the product, before you start posting every day, you need a clear vision. And that is where so many people miss it. They are trying to build without clarity. They are trying to sell without a message. They are trying to post content without knowing who they are talking to. And let me say this with love. That is why so many people feel busy, but not profitable. I know what that feels like. I've had seasons where I was doing a lot, creating a lot, posting a lot, learning a lot, but still asking myself, why is this not turning into consistent income? And what I had to learn was this: more is not always better. More offers does not always mean more money. More content does not always mean more clarity. More platforms does not always mean more growth. Sometimes the answer is not doing more. Sometimes the answer is getting focused. One message, one audience, one problem, one solution. That is what I teach inside Prosperous Woman Academy. Because your business should be built around the people you are called to serve, not just what is trending, not just what everybody else is selling, not just what looks popular online. You need to ask yourself, who am I called to help? What problem have I overcome? What solution can I provide? What wisdom has God placed inside of me? What story am I sitting on that could help someone else? Because your story is not just your story. Your story is somebody else's strategy. Somebody is waiting on the lesson you learned the hard way. Somebody is praying for the answer you already carry. Somebody needs your testimony, your teaching, your product, your journal, your course, your community, your blueprint, but they cannot receive it if you keep hiding. That is why I believe online business is bigger than money. Yes, we want income. Yes, we want freedom. Yes, we want to build wealth. But for me, this is also about obedience. It is about stewardship. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds us that God gives us the power to create wealth, not just so we can look successful, but so we can build, serve, give, create impact, and leave legacy. So when I talk about starting an online business, I am not just talking about selling something. I am talking about building something that aligns with your purpose. Now, let's keep it simple. There are 3 things you need to begin building an online business. Number 1, you need a profitable offer. Your offer is the solution you provide. This could be a digital product, a journal, a workbook, a planner, a mini course, a coaching program, a membership, a community, a template bundle, a guide, a class. But here is where most beginners get stuck. They create something they like instead of creating something their audience needs. That is a big difference. A profitable offer solves a real problem. So before you create anything, ask, what does my audience need help with right now? Do they need clarity? Do they need confidence? Do they need structure? Do they need a plan? Do they need healing? Do they need business basics? Do they need help creating their first product? Do they need help turning their story into income? Inside my Purpose to Profit blueprint, I teach women how to take what they already know, what they have lived through, what they have learned, and package it into something that can help others. Because you do not have to wait until you are perfect to begin. You just need to be willing to serve from where you are. Number 2, you need a clear audience. You cannot talk to everybody. I know that sounds harsh, but it is true. When you try to talk to everybody, nobody feels like you are talking to them. Your content has to make the right person say, that is me. She understands me. I need this. This is what I have been looking for. For me, I speak to women who know they are called to more. women who are ready to stop sitting on their gifts, women who want to build something from their story, their faith, their knowledge, their wisdom, and their lived experience. Women who want to create digital products, journals, online offers, or communities. Women who want to build income, but not lose themselves in the process. Women who want freedom, but also want alignment. That is magnetic messaging. Magnetic messaging is when your words pull the right people closer, not by begging, not by chasing, not by forcing, but by speaking directly to the heart of the person you are called to serve. That is why your story matters, because your audience is often a former version of you. The woman who is overwhelmed, the woman who is starting over, the woman who is tired of trading time for money, the woman who has gifts but no clear plan, the woman who wants to build but feels like she is too late, the woman who knows God has called her to more but she needs strategy. That is who I speak to, and that is what I help her do. I help her move from confusion to clarity, from fear to faith, from idea to income, from purpose to profit. Number 3, you need a simple system. A business without a system will wear you out. You cannot build everything manually forever. You need a way to attract people, nurture them, serve them, and invite them into your offer. This is where so many people get stuck. They think they need to be online all day. They think they need to post 20 times a day. They think they need to chase people in the DMs. They think they need to know every platform. They think they need to be tech experts. You do not. You need a simple system. Content brings awareness. Your freebie or lead magnet builds your email list. Your email list builds trust. Your offer provides the solution. Your community provides support. That is the foundation. And let me say this clearly. Social media is borrowed land. Your page can grow. Your videos can reach people. Your content can open doors. But your email list is an asset. Your community is an asset. Your digital products are assets. Your knowledge is an asset. Your story is an asset. That is how you begin building long-term, not just quick money, not just random sales, but a real business foundation. Now, I want to speak to the woman who feels like she has no experience. You may not have business experience yet, but you do have life experience. You have wisdom, you have lessons, you have testimony, you have skills, you have knowledge. You have something God has placed inside of you. And sometimes we disqualify ourselves because we think we have to know everything before we begin. But you do not need to know everything. You need to start with what is in your hand. When God asked Moses, "What is in your hand?" Moses had a staff. It looked ordinary. But when surrendered to God, it became part of the assignment. So I want to ask you, what is in your hand? Is it your story, your journal idea, your teaching gift, your coaching ability, your encouragement, your experience, your testimony, your knowledge, your creativity? Stop calling it small. Small in your hand can become powerful when God gives it strategy. But you have to move. Faith is not passive. Faith requires action. The Bible says faith without works is dead. So yes, pray. But after you pray, take the next step. Write the vision, clarify the message, create the offer, build the system, post the content, serve the people, invite them in. That is how you build. Now, I also want to say this. Do not build from desperation. Build from stewardship. There is a difference. Desperation says, I need money right now, so let me sell anything. Stewardship says, God gave me something valuable, and I am going to package it with excellence. Desperation chases, stewardship serves. Desperation copies, stewardship creates. Desperation burns you out, stewardship builds legacy. And that is what Prosperous Woman Academy is about. It is not just about creating a product. It is about becoming the woman who can build, lead, serve, and prosper. Because the business will only grow to the level that your mindset can carry. If your mindset does not shift, your strategy will not stick. That is why I talk about faith, identity, vision, clarity, content, marketing, automation, and community. Because all of it matters. You cannot build a purpose-driven business with a broken identity. You cannot build long-term income if you do not believe you are worthy to show up. You cannot create wealth while constantly shrinking yourself. At some point, you have to decide, I am done hiding. I am done overthinking. I am done starting and stopping. I am done sitting on the gift. I am ready to build. And no, it will not always be easy, but it can be simple. Simple does not mean effortless. Simple means clear, and clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates consistency. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates results. So let's recap. If you want to start an online business with no experience, you need 3 things. 1, a profitable offer. Something that solves a real problem for a real person. 2, a clear audience. Know who you are called to serve and speak directly to her. 3, a simple system. Use content, email, digital products, and community to build trust and create income over time. That is the foundation. And I want you to understand this. You do not need to be famous. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need a huge following. You do not need to have it all figured out. You need clarity. You need courage. You need consistency. You need the right strategy. And you need to be in the right environment. That is why community matters. When you are surrounded by women who are building, creating, learning, and growing, it helps you stay focused because isolation will make you quit faster, but community gives you support. Inside Prosperous Woman Academy, I help women build faith-based online businesses using their story, skills, and purpose. And inside the Academy, one of the core courses is the Purpose to Profit Blueprint. That blueprint helps you take your idea and turn it into a clear offer, a simple message, and a business foundation you can build from. So, if you are ready to stop overthinking and start building, if you are ready to create your first digital product, if you are ready to turn your purpose into profit with faith, clarity, and strategy, I want to invite you to join me inside Prosperous Woman Academy. This is your season to stop sitting on what God gave you. This is your season to build. This is your season to take the vision, make it plain, and move in obedience. The link is in the description. I would love to support you inside the community. And remember this: you are not too late. You are not too old. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Now it is time to turn that experience into impact and income.